Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the new Munitorum Field Manual, where we finally get to see the points for our armies for new 10th edition Warhammer 40,000. I'll be looking forward to seeing the points values for the armies I'll be playing in 10th edition, and if you're looking to get hold of this Munitorum Field Manual, then head over to the Warhammer community site, go to downloads, and normally they would be in this section here, but they've given the Warhammer 40,000 docs their own section now, because normally you would scroll along here, look for Warhammer 40,000, and then it would give you all the downloads. But I guess there's so many now, they put it on their own page. So here you can find the Munitorum Field Manual. There's a new rules commentary as well, so let's click on that and open that up so you can have a quick look. But I'm going to do another video on that probably, because there's an awful lot of information in there. But this is going to be really handy if you're not sure about some of the certain rules or you've got any questions. Hopefully this document will address that. But yeah, a lot going on here. It's covering all the details by the looks of it, and there's even some pretty nice diagrams in there as well, which hopefully should explain some of the rules maybe that aren't too clear from the rule book. So yeah, that's going to be a really nice document to have a good read through. But going back, if you want to get hold of this Munitorum Field Manual, that's where all the points are going to be contained for all the armies. So just download that, and obviously it's free. You can also get the quick start guide and the core rules on that page too. And on top of that, as you can see, the index cards, FAQs and erratas are also available. So anything you want for new 10th edition now is going to be contained there. And that's everything you need to get started for free. If you've already got models, you don't need to buy anything. The rules are there, the index cards are there, points, values, everything, and use the models you've got. And that's certainly what I'll be doing. Altogether, this Munitorum Field Manual is going to be 30 pages, and most of the armies are all contained on one page with all their points values, which is really nice. So it's going to be nice and concise and very clear. The good news is all the war gear is going to be included now, so you don't have to price that up differently or separately. You can just use whatever's available. You can choose the war gear you want to equip to your operatives, and then that's it. You're done. No extra points, so whatever the points say for your squad, that's what you'll be using. There are a few changes to how this normally works, so I'll be going through that now for the rest of the video. So let's have a look at that. But as I mentioned earlier, the ones I'm really keen on are Astra Militarum and Space Wolves, and so it's really cool to finally get the points for those. I can't wait. Let me know which army you'll be playing in the comments down below, and also let me know what you think about the points and how you think that's going to affect how you play. Here we go then. So here's the introduction to the Munitorum Field Manual. This is version 1.0, and there's not an awful lot of information to go through, only a few things, and the article that went up on the community site just now has just got a little bit of info there. So there's not too much to go through. It's all pretty self-explanatory in here, but as long as you know the war gear is free. There is one thing that isn't free though, and that's the enhancements. Now you'll be paying for those. I'll give you an example of that in a moment, but let's have a closer look at the information here, and a lot of it is to do with unit size. You'll see that each entry lists the increments to a unit size that incur different points costs, and it can change. So sometimes it could be you could have 1, 2 or 3 models in a unit, or you could have 5 or 10 models in a unit, and you'll see in the list that you're going to get a points cost for each of those increments. Here you can see the Zephyrim squad can have either 5 models for 70 points or 10 models for 140 points. So you can't have anything in between from your starting value. It's got to be 5 or 10 in the unit. Then for the Adeptus Custodes, you've got the Vigilators. You've got a bit more variety here. So you can have 4 models, 5 models, 9 or 10. And also this doesn't take into account your characters. You'll be adding those in addition to these points values. Here's another example from the Adeptus Mechanicus with the Sidonian Dragoons. You can have 1 model, 2 models or 3 models, and you can see the points next to each of those model counts. In the article it says they've done this so that unit sizes are now much easier to manage. Rather than adding individual models to a squad, you can buy them in increments, sets of 5 models, 10 models, so on, or in the examples we saw earlier, 1, 2 or 3. And again, you'll be able to add characters to those units in addition to those increments, and then give those characters enhancements so you can really make those units unique. It does highlight in the introduction to the Munitorum Field Manual that your units can contain a number of models in between those limits. So if the limit is 5 or 10, you can have a number in between that, but you still must pay the maximum points for the unit that starts the game with more than its minimum number of models. So for example, if the minimum's 5 and maximum's 10, you start with 7. You've still got to pay the points for those 10 models. I'm trying to think of an example where you would want fewer than the maximum 10. I wonder if you were going to put a character into a unit and then pop them in a specific vehicle that's got a limit. Maybe you would do that then. I suppose that's what would come up. And then you'd be wanting those characters to get the enhancements so that you can make the units unique. So I guess there could be occasion where you will make that sacrifice just to get that detachment, enhancement and character into the unit and onto the vehicle. But as you can see here, those detachment enhancements are going to cost extra, and here's the space walls with the example of how many points each of those enhancements will cost. So depending on which you use, they're going to vary here from 10 points up to 25 points. So interesting, we have to pay for the detachment enhancements. I suppose we saw that a little bit with Chaos Space Marines previously in 9th edition, something similar. But here, you're going to get all the war gear free, so that's nice and easy. So that builds into this idea of simplified, not simple, that they've been going on about since 10th edition was starting to be previewed. So that's pretty cool, but we are going to pay for those detachments. But as the article says, it will make sure that every unit now has a specific role to do on the battlefield. That's pretty much it for the Munitorum Field Manual, the introduction, and then it's a case of going through your army, checking out those points, and we can start putting some lists together now, which is going to be great fun. We can finally start playing it properly. Also, in the article, which I'll link down in the description below, you'll be able to find the rules commentary download as well, and that's going to clarify things such as what happens when a weapon's damage is reduced below 1, and basically it's telling us it isn't. It's never going to be reduced below 1. Whether abilities stack when duplicated? No, they don't either. You're going to have to pick one of those. It's also going to talk about whether exactly units can see into and out of ruins, and it's going to give us pictures as well, as we had a little look at earlier on. So hopefully that document's going to address and answer all those questions you might have about the rules. I'd love to hear what you think about the Munitorum Field Manual and the points now, so let me know in the comments section below. Can't wait to read those. And I'd love to say a huge thank you to this month's sponsors for helping me keep going with these daily videos and keeping you updated with all the news. So thanks so much to them, including Eld4 Chronicles, new sponsor. And I'll be bringing more information about an awesome new game product that's coming out from them very soon, so look out for that. Also, thank you to War Factor and everyone else who's helped make these videos possible. A big thanks to you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, it'd be great if you hit the like button. Subscribe as well if you want to see more videos like this one. And I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.